Welcome back, learners. Today, we've got an absolutely crucial explainer for you, covering what is honestly a massive leap forward for cloud architects and developers. We're talking about the May 29, 2026 update, the one that finally brings Claude Managed Agents natively directly to AWS. I know you're excited, so let's get right into it. Okay, let's dive into this. We're going to take a really quick, high-energy tour of our feature release roadmap today. We'll hit Claude Agents landing on AWS, 3 brand new platform features, the one essential IAM update you literally cannot skip, and we'll wrap up with next steps for builders. First up, Section 1, Claude Agents land on AWS. Now, this is a monumental win if you're building in the cloud. As Anthropic puts it, this is a meaningful expansion for teams that have standardized on AWS as their deployment environment for Claude. You see, in the past, tapping into these agentic capabilities meant stepping completely outside your established AWS setup. It was like trying to fit a square peg in a round hole. You had major integration friction, you were juggling completely different environments, and honestly, you were just dealing with massive deployment headaches. But by bringing these tools directly into your existing deployment path, all that friction just completely vanishes. Which brings us to Section 2, 3 new platform features. Let's look at this rule of 3. And this brilliantly illustrates our first big feature, webhooks. This is a massive, massive shift in system communication. We are finally moving away from the old way, polling. You know, where your system is basically sitting in the back seat constantly asking the server, "Are we there yet? Are we there yet?" It's resource heavy and super inefficient. But the new way? Now your systems get automatic, event-driven notifications directly from managed agents the very second a workflow triggers. Your infrastructure can just sit back, wait, and get pinged exactly when it needs to act. Feature number 2 is multi-agent orchestration. Instead of forcing one single, completely overloaded agent to handle the whole shebang, you can now build a highly coordinated pipeline. Step 1, hand off tasks. Step 2, run them in parallel. Step 3, have agents check each other's work. Imagine one agent ingesting customer data, immediately handing off analysis tasks to run concurrently, and then a final agent jumping in to review the work for accuracy before sending a response. It's all about seamless collaboration entirely within the Claude Platform. Feature number 3 is self-hosted sandboxes. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it defines these as isolated execution environments running directly on your own AWS infrastructure, meaning your execution computation doesn't get shipped off to some third-party server anymore. Nope, it stays entirely locked down within your own AWS account. And that leads directly into the core benefit here, strict data residency within your AWS boundary. For enterprise teams, this is absolutely huge. If your organization is dealing with strict compliance rules, security audits, or hard data residency requirements, this guarantees your compute never, ever leaves your designated boundaries. It essentially solves one of the biggest, most frustrating hurdles in enterprise AI deployment today. Moving on to Section 3, the essential IAM update. Now, I need you to really listen closely to this part because this is a critical security prerequisite. You're probably looking at all these tools and thinking, awesome. Am I ready to start building? Well, hold your horses. Before you enthusiastically go fire up those sandboxes and accidentally break production, we need to talk about the catch. Because this release isn't just some simple feature flip you can turn on. So the crucial point is this exact new managed IAM policy name, AnthropicSelfHostedEnvironmentAccess. I know, IAM permissions can be a developer's worst nightmare, right? But if you plan to use those self-hosted sandboxes, you absolutely 100% must attach this specific policy. Anthropic created these new IAM actions specifically for the Claude Platform on AWS. Do not skip this step. Let's break it down into a super simple checklist for you. First, review the updated IAM actions documentation. Read it thoroughly. Second, configure that managed policy upfront, literally before you write a single line of new code. And third, save yourself hours of head-banging debugging time later. Getting these permissions locked in right from the start is non-negotiable before you can use the Claude Platform on AWS. All right, Section 4, next steps for builders. Let's move to and see how this builds into the bigger picture. Really, the core value proposition of this entire update boils down to this: native options within your existing AWS path. You are no longer stepping outside the Claude Platform to duct tape your agentic systems together. Having webhooks, having multi-agent orchestration, and having sandbox execution all natively available, it creates a much more coherent, streamlined story for enterprise teams. It's a true game changer for building reliable production systems at scale. So what's next? For the full manual on building with Claude, including the nitty-gritty on exactly how these managed agents plug into your larger architectures, you're going to want to head straight over to claudemaster.net. That is your essential go-to resource for implementing every single thing we've talked about today. Which leaves us with this final question to ponder. With native orchestration and sandboxes now entirely within your AWS boundary, what complex workflows will your agents conquer first? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and happy building.